Hello everyone, and welcome to a second royal reading of today, Saturday afternoon, cold and grey Saturday afternoon. I'm continuing with my Doria day, my D-Day as I'm calling it. Lots to talk about in this reading, lots that has come from Bookworm 2's channel. Go and watch the video if you're interested in where this all comes from. But I'm going to pick up some stories that she has got from sources of hers and have a look at them, because Doria, always mysterious, showed up in the Netflix docu and now has been papped in Beverly Hills at an art exhibition. Not just any old art exhibition, an art exhibition about tennis called Advantage. And of course, we've just had Wimbledon, where Catherine was seen just about every day, looking fabulous, there with William, also looking fabulous, and the two lovely children behaving impeccably, Charlotte with those amazing sunglasses. And so they've been doing very well, the Waleses. And so here comes Doria at an art exhibition with a female friend. We might want to know who that female friend is. Lots of speculation about Doria and who she might be hanging out with in a personal sense, a relationship sense. So there's lots of speculation, lots of wondering. Bookworm 2 sources tell her that Doria is very influential in the marriage in Montecito. That she's the peacekeeper, basically. She's the glue that keeps the two together, the terrible two together. When Harry goes off in a huff, Doria is the one who phones and begs him to come back and forgive Meghan. And when Meghan decides she's had enough, Doria is the one who reminds her how good it is to be a royal, how useful it is to be royal adjacent and don't just chuck it all. And when that doesn't work, she gets Marcus in. So Doria works very hard to keep the peace in Montecito. Apparently, allegedly, she likes the good things in life. She's acquired a taste for the good things in life, the designer clothes, the fine dining, the money, the celebrity, being celebrity adjacent. So it's all living the high life, living the good life, Doria. And so it seems to have a vested interest in keeping this relationship going. So I have got the Urban Tarot on the tarot table. It seems appropriate for the topics we're talking about now. I'm going to do a 10 card reading, and I'm going to pick my way through these various topics of interest with the Urban Tarot. We are going to find out about her taste, her alleged taste for the good things in life. Is it true that she likes living the high life? And how worried is she that the high life might be disappearing? Because this papped by backgrid, and very knowingly papped by backgrid, grinning at the camera, a bit like her daughter grins at the camera. So she seems to have learnt from her daughter, or her daughter learnt from her. We're not sure which way around it goes. All speculation, of course. But she was papped by backgrid, and the headline is something to do with she's papped in Beverly Hills at this art exhibition among split rumours. So we want to know about the marriage. How influential was she in getting Harry and Meghan married, and how important is it to her to keep the marriage going? Her influence on Harry, her influence on Meghan, why she was papped. What was this about? It's not like her to go out so brazenly and be seen. I think the last time she was papped was, when was it? Was it during the Queen's funeral? She showed herself out and about as if to say, I'm not looking after the kids. I think she was in LA. And there was great mystery about who was looking after those kids for the 2 weeks that Harry and Meghan stayed in the UK. So it's not like her to be papped. And who's the lady with her? We want to know about that. Anything universe wishes to tell us. And then the outcome card that I want to know about today is, if there is a divorce, how will it go for Doria? What will its impact be on her? So that's a thought that hasn't occurred to me up until now, but occurred to me as I was pondering this story. So there we go. There are our cards. We're going to get our underlying card out, and we're going to just remind you before we go into this reading, it's tarot for fun and entertainment. It's all speculation. It's all my opinion, and I read energy here. I read archetypal energy because we are dealing with the royal family, the archetypal family, and there is of course a disclaimer in the box below. Please read it, form your own opinion about these stories. Now, our underlying energy is a very interesting card. It's the Hierophant. It is the royal family. And what have we been talking about? How useful it is as far as Doria is concerned that Meghan stay as a member of the royal family, and I guess we've got Prince Archie and Princess Elizabeth too, also very useful. She was the only member of the family that went to the royal wedding, of course, only one invited, only one we saw. She seemed to become very present in Meghan's life the minute Meghan was dating Harry. Up until then, Meghan had been quite keen on her dad. But suddenly, no daddy, no Thomas Markle, and here comes Doria. So I think that this, as the underlying energy, is quite telling. The royal family, commitment, and it's a marriage card as well. Let's not forget that the Hierophant is one of the marriage cards in the tarot. I'll put it down here because it underpins everything else. Hierophant is about ceremony, is about commitment, is about the rules, the things that you go through, the rituals that you go through as part of a marriage, a wedding. It's the vows that you make, the commitment to each other in the eyes of God. And as I say, there she was. Fascinating card to show up here in this reading. So let's see the overall situation. What are we dealing with? Please, universe, tell us. Oh, wow. Oh, cruelty is the key word to this card. The Nine of Swords. And that's a terrible, terrible, terrible card. And I know many of you are going to start shrieking about darkness and... how can I say it? Well, the card gives the indication of the thing. I don't want to say the word here. But dark arts, shall we say. Let's use that term. Alleged dark arts. I have looked at that on this channel. Again, there in the royal playlists. Got some pretty disturbing cards as far as I can remember. And in fact, one of the tarot decks I used very early on in this channel to look at precisely that, I subsequently got rid of. It wasn't causing me any trouble personally, but I just felt that I had had enough information from that tarot deck and it needed to go away. So there we have it. We have the Nine of Swords. And we, I'm sure, know who might be the potential victim of that mental torment, that anguish. Don't have much sympathy for him myself, but it's certainly a very chilling card to come out as the story that we are dealing with in this reading. And I have to say, for legal reasons, allegedly. So let's have a look at the good life and Doria's alleged taste for the good life. True or false? What is the energy we've got here? We've got the Emperor. That's likely to lord it over everyone, the Emperor. It's not so much a lush, it's not a Nine of Cups, but it's power. Oh, she likes power. According to the cards, just reading energy here and speculating, of course. But the Emperor is the boss. The boss. The one in charge, the one that plans, the one that manages, the one that everyone bows and scrapes to. She likes that. So it's not so much the designer stuff, although I'm sure she likes that too. But it's a sense of power, the sense of being one of the big hitters now, with all the other movers and shakers. She's landed in a spot that she likes from that point of view. That's the energy that's coming through to me and that I am interpreting, of course. How worried is she about losing her influence, her power, the good things in life, and going back down to Five of Pentacles, which was an energy I picked up in my previous reading on Doria and the missing years. How worried is she about losing it all? We got the Four of Wands. I don't think she thinks it's possible with that card. I think she feels that she's achieved her goal. The Four of Wands is about celebration. It says a completion here. But the Four of Wands is more a celebration card. It's a wedding card as well. We've got 2 marriage cards. It was very important to Doria Ragland, according to these cards and the energy expressed in them, that Harry and Meghan get married. Very important to her. She is almost the driving force behind this marriage. Could plan ahead strategically and see how beneficial it would be to her. And so she's enjoying herself. She's celebrating. This is all good. She's accomplished her goal. She's got what she wanted. She's living the high life. She feels very powerful. She feels invincible because the Emperor feels invincible. And so I don't think that it's a concern of hers. I don't think she thinks that there could be a problem down the line. I think she thinks that the deal is now made and signed and sealed, and the grandchildren are there, Prince and Princess. The royal family is always going to have to support them. Doria always going to get money as granny, who might be the one who's the carer for these children, put herself in a very useful position. And so that's all just my speculation, of course. Let's move on now to her influence in getting them married. Well, we've already seen the Hierophant and the Four of Wands. So was she the engine behind this marriage? I think we've already answered that. We got the Tower in reverse. That's a very sinister card again, because it's very destructive, it's very shocking, it's very sudden, it's unexpected. She might have orchestrated some kind of tower moment, and I'm speculating, and I know there is a lot of speculation about what might have coerced Harry into signing on the dotted line, so to speak. He did look rather ill, green about the gills at the wedding itself, the ceremony itself. A lot of people speculate there might have been such a thing as a malignancy or something that happened at Soho House that he was reminded of, shall we just say. So lots of speculation, but the Tower card is a chilling card. It's not a kind of card or an energy around a card that you would have expected for such a happy event, supposedly as a wedding. But it's a recovery from a tower moment, should be, or it might be tower upon tower upon tower. I think she saw this as something she needed to save, that she might have felt that she'd lost the moment, and I've just lost my microphone, so if you had strange clunks and clonks, that's what's just happened. But I think she felt that it might have slipped through Meghan's fingers and hers at some point, and we all saw those weird photos at the wedding in Jamaica where Meghan just showed up allegedly, and Harry looked less than thrilled to see her, and then suddenly there was an engagement announcement. There was that Vogue cover and the story wild about Harry, and then it was all signed and sealed. So it's something that went wrong for a while, and then she worked very hard to fix. My opinion, wild speculation, tarot. Disclaimer in the box below. How invested is she in keeping this thing going now? To the extent she might have had to show up and do a little pep walk. Queen of Pentacles, there she is. The matriarch. Looks a bit Margaret Thatcherish, doesn't she? But the matriarch is Doria Ragland, the Queen of Discs, the Earth sign, high-powered woman, mature woman. She needs this. She needs this for her stability. She's the power behind the throne. She's the emperor hiding there behind the matriarch. There's the good life. It's shown up. It's not, again, it's not a lush overtly. I think she's more subtle about the way she enjoys the fine things in life. But there are the fine things in life. This is somebody who's, it's Martha's Vineyard sort of thing. It's that old money kind of a vibe. She's there. She's arrived at that place. She's not letting go of it. Never. Her influence on Harry and Meghan. What hold does she have over Harry? I've had a look at the alleged drug dealing sort of side of things. Not dealing, providing. Dealing is the absolutely wrong word, and I don't mean it in a legal sense at all, but facilitating perhaps, or encouraging. But what's her influence over Harry? Phoning, forgive Meghan, come back. Ooh, what a horrible card. I might have to get rid of these cards too after this reading. Or smudge them furiously. That's a chilling card again. We go back to here, to the Nine of Swords. The moon, very sinister energy, playing on fears, playing on the subconscious, fear of abandonment. You're going to be abandoned, like this little doll here has been abandoned, broken and abandoned. If you leave Megan, you're going to be all on your own. We are the link to mummy. We are the link to mummy. We've read on that as well. The theory, the speculation that Megan and Doria between them claim to have some access to Princess Diana that Harry doesn't have. It's all here in this card. This card is telling me a million things all at once, so many that it's very hard to focus. It's access to mummy. It's playing on fears because it's the moon. It's Diana, the Cancerian woman, the moon. We can speak to her, we can connect you with her, you'll be abandoned, you'll be all lost and alone in the woods, without us, without me, because I am this person, but keeping him in a fog, keeping him in a cloud, keeping him confused. It's terrible, terrible, terrible energy. It's about the worst energy I've ever hit on in the 2 years that I've been doing these readings on this channel. I have to say that. And I'm reading energy, I'm just reading energy. For entertainment purposes, of course. Influence on Megan. Oof. 3 of Swords. 3 of Swords. And it's sorrow and heartache and betrayal. I think that she and Megan have a very, very difficult relationship that we don't see. But that 3 of Swords, that is betrayal, heartache, hurts that you don't really recover from. The 3 of Swords is one of the worst cards in the tarot, if not the worst, because it's that pain and betrayal. When you get it in a reading, when it's happened to you in your life, you'll know. When you see that card in a reading and it's expressing that level of hurt from somebody who should have cared for you, should love you, should always be in your life. It's 3 of Swords. It's terrible. It leads to all kinds of behaviors that I see in this card. That's why we've got the Urban Tarot out here, because it's levels of self-harm, and I'm not accusing, I'm just saying that that's what's in the energy of the card, that it might have led to a quite difficult time for Megan in her life, her relationship with her mother. It's not a healthy relationship according to the energy of the cards that I am reading, and this is just my speculation here with the 3 of Swords. But you could also be saying to Megan, if you leave, if you walk away from this marriage that Doria seems to be so invested in, according to these cards, you will regret it. It will hurt. You will never recover from the pain of it. Don't do it. So that's just a subtext to the main energy that I'm getting, which is pretty horrendous. So let's move on. And where are we going now? I'm all confused because this has been so harrowing. I have it all written down. Okay, we're at the Papped Walk now. We're at the Papped Walk at Advantage, the art exhibition in Beverly Hills with the friend. Why the Papped Walk? In the context of all these divorce rumours and Wimbledon and all the rest of it. Why the Papped Walk? What was she hoping to achieve? And it was a Papped Walk. I'm not going to say alleged because it was backward still in favour, seemingly, in Montecito. Queen of Wands, the public defender. Interesting keyword. I don't always agree with the keywords. It's not the public defender, it's the Meghan defender. It's Meghan Markle energy, Queen of Wands. Meghan couldn't go out there and do the Papped Walk. She's already done that pitiful one at the market with the flowers and the dog and the bodyguard who turned out not to be a bodyguard but just some random person who was papped by that Jill Ashkanian woman. Meghan's done her best, but nobody cared. So she sent out Mum. And it's interesting the colour of this public defender. She sent out Mum. She's a mature woman, a more mature woman. She's powerful. She's got justice on her side. You can't criticise Doria Ragland because of the world that we live in now. She ticks all the right boxes. And so you can't criticise her. You can criticise Meghan, you can criticise Harry, but you can't criticise Doria. And that's why Doria was sent out, to show herself in public. A show of force and a support for her daughter. Interesting. Possibly a message going out to some quite powerful people with that court house in the background, and it sort of gives the idea of more than just courts, because very often people who have legal backgrounds tend to go into politics later on. So still the political ambition there? Maybe. Maybe. Now I've got distracted. But we'll move on to the friend. Tell us about the friend, relationship with the friend, who also had to be papped. Poor friend. What do we get here? We got the Six of Cups. Oh, it's quite an interesting depiction of the Six of Cups. There could be something there in that. Six of Cups normally is about the past and is about old friends and people that go way back. So it could be somebody who goes way back in Doria's past, an old friend. But this Urban Tarot takes the Six of Cups to a place that Tarot doesn't normally take the Six of Cups, and I don't have to articulate what the place is between the sheets, really. So there is that energy coming off the card, quite literally the energy of the card. Well, not the energy, the artwork of the card. And so, yeah. There is a reason to suspect that there is more to that than just a friendship, shall we say. Six of Cups in reverse. Maybe something that goes way back in time. Whether it is more than just a friendship or just a friendship. But there it is. It's shown up. A card in reverse can be hidden, secretive, shadow energy, something you don't want people to know, really. But there they were. So maybe we're getting a Doria narrative that's going to come out now, quite literally come out, and to try and get the public back on side, the woke public back on side. How will Doria fare? This is a purely speculative outcome. If and when the Parkles divorce, assuming they do, for the sake of argument, how will Doria fare? What will be the outcome for her? Three of Wands. It's called Virtue. It's expansion, it's growth. There's potential for her. She could come out of this quite well. And it could be that she is setting herself up now for something here. She seems to have buried the missing years, previous reading. She seems to have succeeded quite well in burying the missing years. And if a story comes out, according to the reading I've just done, about her missing years, it will be a pity story. I was down and out and I've put myself back together again. This is telling me something I had no idea. And this is why we do tarot, to see what universe is going to nudge us, what direction universe is going to nudge us into. Universe is nudging this story into a whole new story for Doria, not for Megan. It could be that Doria and Megan are parting themselves from Harry here and going off on their new adventure together, some sort of enterprise, because the Three of Wands is very much an enterprise, a growing business, a project. It could be a political career with this public defender card over here, Queen of Wands, that she's setting the whole narrative up now for a whole new chapter in Megan's life. It could also be a whole new chapter in Doria's life, something we're going to have to dig into. Oh my, that's your reading. Thank you for watching, and I will see you again tomorrow.